everybody. I am about to hike on the Fern Canyon Trail. It's been closed for over a year now because the area had a really bad storm. I think the year before last actually is when it closed, but they got hit really bad here and a lot of the bridges got taken out. But the area's opened back up. There's new temporary bridges up. They only just got them up just recently. I came to ask just if the trail was open up to Bridge 4 because that's what the website says. And the person told me that they got new temporary bridges in, so the whole trail is open. So here we go. You know, you'd think that they would have this sign about poison oak somewhere near where there's actually poison oak. In theory, you'd think. If I see any, I will point it out to you. Oh, look at these bleeding hearts. Aren't those just beautiful? With some forget-me-nots. I love nature. Lots of bees are going after these blackberries. Look at the size of these blooms. You know what? These aren't blackberries. After all, I don't know what the heck they are. Some kind of something. I'll have to look up what those are. If anybody knows, they can tell me. Those were some great big blooms. I don't know why I thought there'd be more hikers out here. It's a beautiful day for a hike. That's why. It's just after noon, so it's not too late in the day to start a hike. There's a brook. There's flowers. There's redwoods. Beautiful day for a hike. The trail is open for the first time in, gosh, over a year, like I said earlier. I think it's close to 2 years actually. But the website still says it's partially closed. So and here we are at bridge number 1. Butterflies. What a beautiful day. I'm glad that I decided to come out here. Oh, and look, there's a California fuchsia too. I think that's a California fuchsia. No, that's a columbine? Maybe? Maybe it's I think it's a columbine, a wild columbine. Not a California fuchsia after all. But it's red. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I was a litterer. I dropped my other flyer. If it doesn't blow away, I will have to pick it up. I'll stop and pick it up if it hasn't blown away on my way back. Fortunately, it's just paper, and paper decomposes pretty darn fast. I should put this in my bag so that I don't drop it out of my pocket like that other flyer that I've got to find. Okay, this is a good pausing point to do that. And there's another columbine. Yeah, I can tell from the leaves this is a columbine. I was confused earlier because of the red, but the California fuchsia it's more of a purpley red color, or pinkish red color, I guess. They're both really pretty. And there's the lawn daisies, and whatever these yellow flowers are. Aren't those cute? Huh, there's another hiker. I should turn off my camera while I approach, because a lot of people don't like that. I'll just do that. Hello.
So beautiful in here, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm so glad they opened it back up.
Oh, is it not open?
I hear something. Maybe somebody's got their radio on? Probably. It's always a good idea to have some kind of noise, like a music or a radio or something when you're hiking by yourself. Just because in theory it throws off the mountain lions. In theory. Some people, they actually put these patches on the backs of their hats or beanies that actually look like eyes because oh wow, look at the butterflies over there. Yeah, but supposedly the cats that are the ambush predators, they won't attack you if you're looking at them, supposedly. But cats are freaking smart. They're eventually going to figure that crap out. I think this one right here, I think that's a dogwood, but we missed its bloom. It really does look like it's a dogwood to me, but I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. It's not like I'm a freaking tree expert. It is nice to imagine these trees here just covered in white flowers, though. I don't know what kind of tree they are. And dragonflies. Dragonflies are awesome. They eat mosquitoes. Oh, there's more hikers. Let's go. Hello. Actually, let's see. You know, I don't know about this tree. Okay, it feels pretty solid. Is it just me, or is that a beaver dam started? I don't know. It would be good if it was. They could probably use one here. It would be good for the local ecology. Coho salmon. Concornis Okay, I can't say that, whatever that is. Wow, that's a lot of eggs. Huh. They go from being born in fresh water out to the sea. Neato. Salmon are pretty cool. I do love babbling brooks. I like camping near them too so that I can listen to them at night. Except then I also have to all of the mosquitoes and gnats that like to be near water as well. These right here are redwood clovers. They are edible. They're high in iron. Lots of pretty flowers. I love wildflowers. And butterflies. And I don't understand why my mom is freaking out about me wanting to take out the trumpet vine. Trumpet vines are not wildflowers. I want to take out the trumpet vine and put in some wildflowers there. The hummingbirds will like those too. And I also want to plant a jacaranda tree so that the spot. Oh, look at this. They should have a bench near here so that people could just sit and enjoy this. Ah, this is the half-mile marker. That's nice of them to have out mile markers. A lot of hikes don't have that. Point of interest number 3. That's what these little fish things are. Points of interest markers. I wonder what the point of interest is with this. I cannot tell. Maybe it's something about those trees that we just walked through. Banana slug. I don't know why the heck they had closed the whole entire trail when it was just bridge 4, 5, and 6 that had washed out. Otherwise, why would they have the trail closed between bridges? Or maybe it was just trails. I don't know. At least the trail is not like mostly mud right here, like that one time I went on it. We'll see if that changes. We'll see. Oh, wow. Something up there is starting to fall apart. Look at that. A lot of people when they're on the trail just look straight ahead. They don't look up. And I dare say I'm one of those people. Oh, lots of rocks. Okay, I need to pick. Okay, I think this part is a little easier on human feet. I think that this actually used to be paved because there's indicators of it with this old pavement here. And is it just me, or this is pavement too, in theory? Yeah. Huh. They need to make it a little bit wider if they want a golf cart to be able to shimmy through here to do maintenance. I mean, a golf cart certainly can fit through here, and the road is in good enough condition, or trail rather, for a golf cart to go through here. But it will certainly be brushing edges on the sides. Yep. And there's bridge number 2 with more hikers.
Hello.
Hello.
With one.
I know that some women put on their whole entire face when they're gonna go camping, and they do it every single day. That's just a little much, you know? Yeah, that's a little much. You know, I am filming my hike, but it's not like I'm trying to have a photo shoot or anything. Point of interest number 6. I don't get it. I don't see it. I mean, the whole entire area is interesting and pretty, but I don't know what the point of interest is here. I think that the flyer that I lost... Oh! Okay, the symbol. That's the symbol for poison oak. And if you look, this is actually poison oak. A little later in the year, the leaves will start to get shiny with the oil that it produces. And then in the fall, it turns red and it's unmistakable. Man, butterflies are really difficult. Look at that. There it goes. Oh. And here is bridge number 3. This is a nice one. And I didn't bring my trekking poles because this is actually a pretty easy hike. You know, except for that part where there's all of those rocks and stuff. Something smells really good. Huh. I think maybe it's these flowers here, but they're really small. Huh. I don't know. Smell very flowery, sort of floral scent that I smelled just now. Huh. Interesting. I've got some wood stored, I guess, for making the bridge, perhaps? Aha! Maybe that's the old bridge that washed out. I think it's the old bridge that washed out. Because there is the first temporary bridge. That is bridge number 4. I know it's just a temporary bridge, so it's not going to be here long term. But I admit, I do like how low it is. The old bridge, it was a lot longer and higher over the brook. I admit, I like how low this one is. I do. I feel like it puts you closer to the brook, which is nice. Oh, point of interest number 8. Clover. I guess at this point you're supposed to read about the fact that redwood clover is edible and high in vitamin C. It's the redwood ferns that are high in iron. I always get those mixed up until I've thought about it for a few minutes. They do have the cutest little blooms, though. And there's a baby redwood tree. It's probably about 2 years old, given how tall it is. It's about 2 feet tall. Back to what I was talking about, though, with the trumpet vine. I want to put in some wildflowers out front. You know, redo the planter area so that it's something that can be maintained from outside of it, so it's not as deep, basically. You know, more of a, or wide, whatever. You know, I don't want it more than 3 feet across, I guess. That way I can maintain it from either side of the thing, because it's a raised bed, and my mom definitely has. We're on bridge number 5. My mom definitely has a valid point with having a raised bed in front of the house with concrete blocks and all like that. You know, like a retaining wall, because people, they've hit it before, you know, drunk drivers. They've actually plowed right into it before, and it's better that it's this concrete wall that we can just pile back up than it being our fence or our house. You know, that's a lot harder to repair. So, you know, we do need to have that retaining wall planter in front. But it does not have to be freaking 10 feet across. 12. I don't know, it's something around 10 or 12. And that's just too much raised bed. To maintain it, you've got to walk inside of it and compact the dirt. And I want to pull out the trumpet vine from out of there and put in the wildflowers, but I'd also like to put in a jacaranda tree, because they are a kind of tree that blooms. They get between 20 and 25 feet tall. So, you know, they bloom, they spread out, they have ferny sort of leaves, almost like a mimosa tree. And they have flowers on them that are like a sort of a purplish color, like a pinkyish purplish color, and they're trumpet shaped, so the hummingbirds will freaking love them. Okay, point of interest number 10. I don't know what the heck that shape is supposed to be. I don't know. But we're gonna keep going. So, you know, we can put in a jacaranda tree and have the wildflowers. And maybe we'll go ahead and leave the grape trellis, some kind of a grape trellis out there, because I do like the fact that the front yard is well shaded by the grapevine. I like that. But I really don't like the format of the trellis. I think it's really ugly, actually. And how ugly things are does affect the resale value of your house. You know, my mom just, she had a bunch of stuff installed and she just really went more utility and didn't think about how things were going to look, you know? And that's not great. You know, we need things to be more matchy so that they are more aesthetically pleasing, because that will be good for resale value, you know? And even though it is a provision in my mom's will that I can stay and live in her house after she passes away for however long I want to, my brother makes a very valid point that would be basically stealing part of his inheritance from him. So I get that. But his solution is apparently saying that I need to buy him out at half of whatever some website says the house is actually worth. I need to buy him out? He can't wait just a little while? Because I don't want to live in California for forever, in spite of how freaking gorgeous some of the stuff in California is. This is about the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC. We need something like that now. You know? Put some of these young people to work, give them some work experience, you know? Meanwhile, they can be fixing some things that are broken. This is bridge number 6. Oh, and I just noticed it's labeled. That's nice. I apparently didn't notice it on the other bridges, or I forgot or something. What is my battery life like? 65%. Okay. That's good enough. I'll have to plug this in eventually, and when I plug it in, I'm gonna have to stop recording so that I can just put my phone in my pocket, because I don't have a long cord with me. I just have a short one. More columbine. I do like the wildflowers. Oh, There is a muddy part of the trail right there. Okay. So, I guess, because there's a couple people coming along, I'm going to pause. This trail was just like this the last time I came here too, with the extremely muddy spots. And no wonder there's a waterfall right there, right over there. I don't know. I don't think we can see it. Maybe. And there's bridge number 7. Oh, and I really do hope that they can get some bridges out here that aren't temporary. Huh. Those are the rails for the bridge. Huh. Maybe they can reuse them. They don't look like they're in too bad a condition so that they can't reuse them. Maybe that's why they didn't drag them out. They're probably going to reuse them. Well, that was bridge number 7. There's a lot of bridges in the first mile. Huh. Unless we've already passed mile marker for mile number 1. I don't know, I think it's coming up soon. Not sure when. Don't see the waterfall that is going with all of that water. It's over there somewhere. I feel like I should put some bug repellent on my hat. I've got it on a few different articles of clothing. I got it on my thingy here. And I did remember to tuck my pant legs into my socks and tuck my shirt in because I don't want any ticks climbing in there. Just saying no to ticks. It's very muddy right here. And all of this water is why there are all of these beautiful ferns that gave the trail its name, Fern Canyon. Okay, so this, I believe, oh, this is bridge number 8. Oh, look at these columbines. I haven't seen any fuchsias. I think it's been 3 years since I went on this path. Oh, okay. So, see how these leaves are shiny? This is poison oak. It's shiny. So don't touch it. Don't touch it. The oil is the thing that gives you the rash. Enjoy its beauty from afar, just like we do with the columbine. I tell you, next time I come to a bench, I'm going to sit down and rehydrate. Because I'm a little thirsty. Maybe a lot thirsty. Okay, maybe not quite a lot thirsty, but I am thirsty. There's bridge number 9. Okay, I like to give you guys the walk over the bridge view, so here we go. Huh. A little bit of damage at the end there. Tread carefully. Trees are allowed to fall wherever they darn well feel like it, though. And it was very considerate of that tree that decided to die not to take out the bridge completely while it did. And I've got my headlamp and lighters in my pocket. So, and I've got a couple snacks. So in theory, it definitely won't be enough to tide me over to stay overnight because, I mean, it'll be cold. This area has like overnights in the 40s typically. Which, you know, if I'm moving because I'm on my way back to the truck, that'll be fine because I've got light. So I won't be wandering off path. Never go off path. Okay, bridge number 10. Oh, it's got missing handrail. Huh. I think that down there, that's pavement. I think that's an old road. Yeah, I think that's an old road right there. Maybe. Clearly, they still have some maintenance to do, but I'm so glad this trail is back open again. I used to know what the names of those little thingies are, but I don't remember. I think we're coming up soon on where some of the primitive campsites are. I don't know if those are open now that the trail is open. This, if I remember right, this is starting to look like the area where the primitive campsites were. Are. I think we'll go to those and then turn back, actually. Gosh, how many of them are there? I think there's 6. I might be wrong. Maybe there's only 4. I'll have to look at the flyer to know for sure. You know what? That right there looks like a good enough bench to me. This is a combination of ACV, apple cider vinegar, and a lemon flavored electrolyte drink. And water. I forgot that I had mixed it up that way when I put it in the freezer. So when I took my first sip of it, it definitely surprised me. Definitely. Let's take a look at the flyer. Okay, it doesn't say actually on the flyer how many of the primitive campsites there are. I'm sure that there's something online. Yeah. There's something online. Okay. Well, we'll put that away. Maybe it's on the flyer that I had fall out of my pocket earlier. There we go. Had to make the sticky thing into a stick instead of a tripod. Maybe I can hold it. Huh. I totally could have just looked in the freaking camera to see if there was anything behind me. God. Huh. You know, that's a good idea, actually. I'm gonna have to remember this trick to tell if anything's behind me. Definitely won't help if there's a bear in front of me, but it would be nice to know if there was one following me. Okay, that was not where the primitive campsites were. It looked a lot like where they were. They're coming up still. We'll do a little tour and review of them when we get to them. I'm not gonna go all the way up to the Pygmy Forest Trail. I don't think. Maybe. Probably depends on what time of the day it is. Because I'm really taking it easy here. I'm not trying to go fast or anything. It's been a little while since I've seen any of the trail markers saying this is a point of interest. Huh. Neato. Look at this tree right here, this redwood tree. See, it's got a strong, healthy tree in the middle, and it's got some smaller suckers around it. Those are its clones. So whenever you go to a redwood forest and you see a circle of trees like that, they are part of the original tree. It is old growth, even when they're smaller trees like these ones. You know, when the center tree is missing. I mean, this isn't one of the super old trees. It's not like it's the Hyperion or the General or anything like that. But the trees themselves are as old as their trunk. They are. That is an interesting growth right there. There's like a little bitty one in the center growing up from that's odd. See what I was just talking about? Oh, this here is the first primitive camping site. Okay, cool. So, these trees are the younger clones of this one. And there's an actual new tree growing out of the trunk. At least that looks like it to me. Okay, so here is primitive campsite number 1. It's marked with a number 1. It's got a nice fire pit. Looks like a pretty sturdy fire pit and a pretty sturdy table. I mean, it's not a new table, but when I push on it, it does not move, so it's pretty sturdy. Probably, if it were me deciding where to put my tent at this campsite, I would put it over here, like on top of the clovers. Yes, but clovers will spring right back up given, a day or two. But it would give a little bit of privacy from people walking on the trail to have your tent behind the trunk there, and it looks relatively flat. There's not a good spot to set up over here right by the table, unless you have a hammock, in which case you definitely need a really big strap to hook up to this big old redwood right here. Hooking up to this, I think that's a Douglas fir, or maybe it's a pine. You'd have to contend with all of this right here, which would not be ideal. And if you set up your hammock tent from this tree to that one over there, you're going to be basically blocking your path in. So that's not good, Yeah. Maybe one of these days I could get my son to go on a little camping trip to these primitive campgrounds like this with me. Maybe, I don't know. Here is primitive camp spot number 2. I don't see a fire pit. It doesn't have a fire pit. Okay. Yeah, there's not one hiding down there either. It doesn't have a fire pit. It has a pretty old but sturdy table. I mean, It's got a table and a spot to set your tent. No fire allowed, though. Definitely recommend number 1 over number 2, just because there's a little more space, a little more privacy, and there's a fire pit. You know, when you're in a place like this, you really don't want to have a fire without a fire pit, just because this is too beautiful. Who would want to burn it down? Only a crazy person would want to burn down something so old and magnificent. And look, there's a trash can for everybody that uses the closed outhouse. Ugh. Yucky. Yucky. Outhouses is precisely why I do not do dispersed campsites. Oh, there's another one. 2. And there's more of the clones, like what I was talking about, the redwood clones. They're all pretty young compared to their pre-generator. Okay, this is number 4. Huh. This one's pretty nice. Lots of space. Yeah, this is like a hike-in group camp, primitive camping spot. There's tons of places where you could set up your freaking hammock or tent and then have a group fire pit. This table is definitely seen better days, but you know, it's sturdy, it's not moving. That's nice. So, primitive campsite number 4 is the penthouse. Not a ton of privacy from the trail like number 1 had. But, you know, it's pretty big. And there's, in theory, you could even set up one of those, like, those tent hammocks that, you know, have, like, the 3 prongs. You know, in theory, you could set up one of those. Yeah. Those are neat. But, yeah, you definitely don't want to set them up on redwoods, though. Especially not the older redwoods, because they have really spongy outers. You know, like this one right here, I believe is a pine. It's pretty hard. But like the redwoods, they are spongy. They sink in, so they're like they're pretty easy to accidentally damage them with your hammock strap. That's why a lot of places say they are not allowed. So that was number 4. Where's the access to get into number 3? Okay, I walked right by it, apparently. So if there's a 5 and 6, they'll be pretty soon. You know, they do like to group things like this all together. Oh, wow. This is a wild rose bush right here. See these freaking thorns? Okay, I don't want to hurt it, so let's step over it carefully. A bunch of wild roses growing right here. I bet they're pretty when they bloom. Oh, look at that. Okay, no bears inside waiting for me. That's good. This one, I think it's the forgotten one. There is a fair amount of visibility though from the trail, in spite of the fact that I walked right freaking by it. So yeah, I would not generally say to have your camp right, or your tent right next to the freaking fire pit. If it were me, actually, I would move the table up over here and set up my tent right there. If it were me. You're allowed to move the tables. It's not like they're freaking strapped down. You're just really not supposed to burn stuff that's not yours. Okay, let's turn this view around. Actually, let's check the time. It is 3:20, or God, 3, it's 1:21. If it were 3, I'd have to turn back immediately. But given that it's only 1:20, I don't have to. Okay, so that was number 3. If I had to pick one to camp at, it would be at number 4 or number 1. And there's a little brook down there. It is good that there's water close to the primitive campsites. That's good. I mean, you'll have to bring your own filtration devices and also consider straight up boiling. The water is, the creek is pretty far down there though, so if you do decide to camp there at the primitive campsites, you'll have to use that little baby brook right next to it. Either that or get your water a little sooner and then just carry dirty water until you get to camp and you can set up some kind of filtration. Unless you have one of those life straw things. Or a cradle. Or no, grail. That's what it's called. Grail. Yeah. I don't have a grail. I think I've got one of the platypus gravity filters, but I might need to replace the filter. It's pretty old. I've had it for literally freaking years and only used it the one time. I think you're supposed to... I might be wrong, since I don't really go out on backpacking trips like this very much. Not that this is a backpacking trip, but I don't go on backpacking, hiking, camping trips generally. So I haven't had a need to actually filter my water on my trip. The only time I needed to was when I was camping or hiking in Yosemite and camping. Oh, there's number 6. I must have gone right by number 5. Okay. Well, there's number 6. Let's go take a look. And then we'll look for number 5. It's back there somewhere. Okay. I don't think that there's a number 7 or 8, so we'll just turn around here. Ah, I see the table for number 5, so I just have to find the little marker that shows. Oh, that's for number 7. Huh. Okay, so I'll still need to find number 5. Maybe there is 8 after all. Okay. So, number 6 has a fire pit. I still can't believe number 2 did not have a freaking fire pit, you know? It has a fire pit. It doesn't have a ton of space, but this area right over here looks pretty flat. You could definitely put your tent right there. It's just, it'll be pretty close to the fire pit, so be careful. Gosh, where the heck is number 5? We'll find it. I don't see the marker. Huh. Okay. Huh. This one might even, it's actually got a little bit of sun on it. That's nice. Wow, that tree came awfully close to taking out the table completely. It's nice when campsites come with their own firewood, though, and a fire pit to use it in. That's nice. Of course, you'll have to split the wood up, and you'll need a pretty good saw to get it to a size where you can manage to split it up. Unless you're... God, what is that guy's name? Thorin, I think. Thorin Bradley. That dude can split anything. This is a nice campsite right here, number 7. I'm not totally sure where you'd put a tent because, well, the table is in pretty much the only level spot, except like maybe right in here, that's currently occupied by some firewood. So, you know, move that into the fire pit and use it, and then you'll have a spot to put your tent. That's number 7. I'm going to go a little farther and see if there's a number 8. Oh dear.
It's
path up there, it's pretty muddy. Okay, let's see if there's a number 8. If there is, it would be pretty close to these in theory. So I'll go a little further, looking for a number 8 marker or a table. The table is why I spotted number 7, and there's number 8. Huh, and I see another thing for a 9th one. Okay, we'll go to that, and then we'll go look for number 5. Okay, here we are at number 8. It is kind of a little steep. Where the hell is the table? Huh. Wow. It's a little bit of a climb to get up to the campsite. I don't even see the table yet. That just means that it's pretty secluded and private. Okay. There's the table. And I'm not intruding on anybody. That's good. There's a fire pit. That's good. There's no poison oak on the way up here. Where the hell do you put your tent? Maybe on top of the plants right there. It's clover and grass. Maybe, maybe up there? That looks like a pretty level spot right there. Oh, there's wood in the way. You'd have to shove that down the hill in order to set up your tent right there. And it's not really level after all, so I would not recommend that. I guess if you have a tiny tent, you could put it right there. Tiny tent. I'm not even sure where the heck you'd set up a hammock over here. There does not look to me like any great spots for that. Maybe between this tree and that tree for a hammock, in theory. Yeah, that's about the right distance, but you'd have to be pretty careful not to slide down the hill through all of the brush. And look at that. There's practically no trail to get up here from the trail. I'm just really glad none of this is poison oak. This is number 8, if I remember right. I do not recommend number 8. I'd rather be at number 2 that has no fire pit. At least there's somewhere to put your tent. What's that? Okay, let's go check out number 9. Okay, there is an outhouse, and it does not say that it's closed. So, in theory, they do actually pump it out You know, the other one is probably closed because they don't pump it out, and probably a lot more people were using it just because it is closer in. I don't know. I don't see any other markers for... Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's 9 primitive spots, and I guess I'll check online when I have internet connection and see if I was right. And we're gonna turn, I don't know, I guess we can go a little bit farther. It's only right around, it's not even 2 o'clock yet, so we could go a little farther in theory. Okay, this is number 9, and I don't see a table anywhere. Oh, God, I'm totally freaking blind. I'm glad that wasn't a rattlesnake. Huh. This is a pretty nice one. It's got some sun, so you could have a nice sunny spot on your table there. To have a fire in your fire pit, you're gonna have to cut that down, but it's not like that's a super rare tree or anything. So I don't see the problem with doing a tiny bit of maintenance for the very overworked park rangers that really can't get out here very easily. You know, I think that I'm currently standing on the spot for the tent. It would probably be, yeah, right around the spot I'm currently standing. So let's see, like right around in there. It looks level enough for a tent. Just, you know, be careful because you don't want to accidentally go down the hill and like that. But, you know, if you do, it won't be too bad, you know? It won't be too bad if you do accidentally roll down the hill. You'll just land, that's like maybe a 3 or 4 foot drop. You know, there's a step right there, so people do use this to get down to the river, you know, or stream, whatever. I can see the outhouse from here, but I really don't think that anybody walking by on the trail would be able to see into the campsite very well. So yeah, this one's got a decent amount of privacy to it. You know, this is a nice one. This stump's got some no fat wood. Probably farther down. Mostly just rot. I don't know, maybe there'll be another one farther on. Let's see if there's a number 10. I'm of the personal opinion, when you're using a primitive camp spot, if there's a fire pit, you should darn well be able to collect firewood on your way in to the spot instead of buying some at the kiosk and then lugging it over here. That is a ridiculous concept right there. You should be able to collect it from near your campsite. Oh, this breeze is nice. Yeah, this is a lovely breeze. Feels great. Okay, let's get back with you. Here we go. How much battery do I have? I'm at 46% right now. Okay. Oh, there's a number 10. It was hiding. Go up and look. There's like no trail to it. Okay. Here we go. I'm glad none of this is poison oak. My goodness. No, but there's a wild rose. I don't want to accidentally kill it. There's more. Look at those thorns. They're not like a bougainvillea, at least. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Here's the picnic table. Is it just me, or is there not a fire pit? I don't see a fire pit. Huh. But once you move these tree branches, there's a decent spot for your tent right there. Is there a fire pit up here? No. Campsite number 10 does not have a fire pit. Not unless it's hiding way up there, which I strongly doubt. Or under the table. No fire pit at number 10. But there is somewhere to put your tent. And it looks like there's enough room for a sizable tent right there. Probably enough room for maybe a 3 or 4 person hiking tent right there. But yeah, no fire pit though, so that would be a big risk. You'd definitely have to take serious precautions to have a fire there. You know, have to definitely shovel the area out and maybe make a fire ring, or you could just clean the area out for the fire pit really good with a shovel and then like sort of dig down a little bit so that the dirt could be the fire ring. That way you don't have to transport any rocks. Okay, I don't think I see any more freaking little numbers or little tables hiding in the distance. think there are any more. What time is it anyways? It is 1:45. And I have not seen any mile markers since that half-mile marker. So it would be nice if they had the rest of the markers out, because I know that I've done more than a mile here. I've been hiking for an hour and a half, basically. Well, you know, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, because I did stop to do a review of those primitive campsites. And my conclusion about the primitive campsites is bring a shovel. Don't bother with the outhouse, you know? Just bring a shovel. Outhouses are terrifying. Why subject yourself to that? Just, you know, bring a trowel or something. I mean, I know there's the pack it in, pack it out theory, and I guess you could do that, but yuck. I guess if you're coming back, though, so long as the bag is really secure, you could do that. After all, people do carry around the feces of their dogs looking for trash receptacles. So, you know, there is that. Oh, the trail really widened out. Maybe we'll go all the way over to the junction of the Pygmy Falls or Pygmy Forest Trail. I do have a video of, not video, whatever. I did post something last year, I want to say, when I visited the Pygmy Forest. It is really cool. I think that's probably it for the primitive campsites. We'll have to go back and look for number 5. To use my camera to see what's behind me on the trail, I need to actually hold it so that it shows the trail behind me. I don't think there's nobody behind me. Oh, look at these. It almost looks like somebody planted those, given that they're in a strip like that. gosh, I'm old and fat. Ugh. Yucky. I'm working on the fat part, but there's nothing I can do about the old part. I'm 46, so there's no going lower from there. It's all downhill now. Oh! 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 I think that this is the end of my forward trek, because I do not see a trail marker. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn back, look for campsite number 5, because I am not going to pick and not know where the heck I might be going. Huh. That's not happening. I mean, I guess this one goes down to the stream, but I don't know. I guess we'll go down that way. We'll go down to the stream and see. We'll see. Okay, it's paved now. Okay, it does not actually go down to the stream after all, because it's going back up and the stream is over there. Okay, so I'll look at the map later. You know, I probably should have checked the map on all trails, but this trail has been closed for over a year, and it's literally still marked on the website as being partially closed. So I did not check the trail on all trails to see anything about it at all. So let's go back. God, I heard a fucking noise. Fuck. Oh, bear! Oh, bear! Go away, bear! Go away, bear! Go away, bear! Go away, bear! I don't want to die. I don't have any bear spray. Go find some berries. Not that there are any berries out here. It's too early in the year for berries, but don't eat me, please. What the fuck? Holy shit. I should not have come out here. Oh my god. Okay. Oh god. Oh shit, I'm fucking scared now. Oh god. I don't want to die. Oh shit. Oh my god. I thought I heard some growling. Oh fuck. Okay. I don't see anything behind me though. Oh my god. fucking bug. Fuck. Fuck. Oh God. Okay. Oh God. I don't hear any animals. And it's so windy, I didn't even notice I didn't hear any animals. Oh God. Fuck. I don't want to accidentally stab myself either. Shit, I should not have come out so far. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh God. I'd put down the camera and stop recording so I could go faster. But I fucking need to see behind me. Oh my God. I'm really freaking out. Oh gosh. Somebody is going to find my phone and know me. And then they're gonna take my phone because free stuff. And my mom and my son are never gonna know what happened to me because I didn't tell them I was going on this hike. Because I thought I wasn't going on this hike because this trail was fucking closed. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fuck. Oh fuck. It's a mountain lion. I won't even see it. If it's a bear, I'll hear it. Oh God. I don't see anything behind me. Oh God. Oh God. I'm freaking out, guys. I'm freaking out. Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. Oh my goodness. We're not, if I make it that far, we're not checking for number 5. We're not. I'm just going straight to the truck. If I make it that far. Oh my gosh. I just put my knife away, 'cause what the hell am I gonna do against a fucking mountain lion? Something is freaking growling in that bush. It's probably stalking me right now. I'm looking for a better fucking spot to jump down on me. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. We're at the outhouse at number 9. Gotta adjust my backpack, because who cares if I can get to my water bottle. Gosh. God. Come on. I need to be able to move better. Fuck. Can't run, just in case anything is back there, because then they'll definitely attack the moment that you start fucking running. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was number 6. Okay, I shouldn't have come this far out. I shouldn't have. Oh God. I don't see anything. But gosh. Fuck. I mean, they fucking blend in so much. You're not gonna see it till it fucking gets you. I don't see any scat on the ground. But that doesn't mean that they're not out here. Oh gosh. Gosh. You know, when I went to the Pygmy Forest Trail, when I went past that, okay, so there's number 4 and number 3. I never saw number 5. Number 5 must have been removed. When I went to the Pygmy Forest, and when I went past that to hike down here to the Fern Canyon Trail, there came a point where the forest was just still. Okay, there are little animals. I just heard a little animal. So, if the little animals aren't hiding from, haven't disappeared, or whatever, if they're making noise, then in theory, I'm safe. But I will definitely feel a lot better back at the truck, inside of the truck, where it is maybe not safe because there are so many freaking car accidents and stuff. But, you know, more safe than getting attacked by a freaking bear. We just passed number 1 and number 2. And that makes it pretty clear that I'm never gonna camp at number 10. If I ever decide to do the primitive camping, it'll be at number 1. Number 1 only. Yeah. Yeah, number 1. I am not going to apologize for freaking out. I straight up heard fucking growling. I heard growling. There was growling. Such a mouth breather. Who knows? Maybe the growling was a Sasquatch. I've got strong doubts about that. But I have heard that sort of stillness like that, how the forest is just really quiet like that, a lot of times those become areas that they say there are Sasquatch. So maybe it's that phenomenon that's created this legend of Sasquatch. I don't know. I just know that I need to watch the trail to my right because that's where the attack from mountain lion would probably come from, just because of the high ground and all of like the fallen logs that they could jump off of to ambush me. I mean, in theory, they could still come from my left, but gosh, I am this part of the forest does feel better, though. But that doesn't mean that there ain't no freaking mountain lion waiting to pounce on me and eat me alive. Because cats play with their food. Cats play with their food. And I don't think I have anything with me that I could use as a tourniquet either. Just in case the cat decided to rip part of me off and go take it for a snack. I'm back to bridge number 10. That does make me feel safer, I'll admit, but not by much. Not by much. Bush was growling at me. Holy crap. I'm glad that there wasn't a bear. Because what the heck is a freaking knife gonna do against a bear? My son was on a hike with a girl that he was dating. And they came across a bear, and apparently black bears are a lot easier to intimidate and frighten away. But this bear that they encountered was not frightened away. My son didn't have any bear spray either. I should get us both some canisters of bear spray. I should do that. I should get us some bear spray. Yeah. I don't think that there's a big 5 where I can do that today, though. So I am not going to stop off and get bear spray on the way back to camp. Anyways, he ended up, and this is a story, I wasn't there, okay? He says he had to punch that bear. It got that close. It wouldn't back down. It wouldn't go away. So he ended up punching it. Which, I mean, I'm glad that makes it pretty clear my son will fight to the last minute. I feel good about that. But holy crap, that's really close to a bear. It's really just way too close to the bear. I will feel a lot better about this once I encounter another person. Gosh, I'm all warm after that sort of panicked trek through the back up this way. God damn. Okay, those are not just my footprints, but it's not like there's anybody else out here with me right now. So, mountain lion could still attack. Oh my goodness gracious. I do feel better now that I'm back with the flowers, though. Flowers make a difference. They really do. Even though flowers don't mean I'm safe. My goodness. Okay, that was not actually the poison oak that I just touched. Okay. And the fact that I'm saying that I like flowers is not an invitation for anybody that might have figured out where I live for my videos to actually send me flowers. That would be weird. Okay, so we're at bridge number 8. You know, I'm gonna have to ask the ranger about the trail because, you know, that's twice now that I've had that experience of getting close to the juncture of where the Fern Canyon Trail and the Pygmy Forest Trail, God, I can't talk. Yeah, the Fern Canyons Trail and the Pygmy Forest Trail. I keep wanting to say falls. That's what the problem is. I'm gonna have to ask about that, if that's a place that a lot of people feel compelled to turn back. Because that's twice now that that's happened to me. Which, I mean, I'm not saying that just because it's happened twice, that there's something there. But, that's twice now. So maybe there's something there. I know that when I went on the Fern Canyons Trail the first time, I want to say it was in 2022. That sounds about right. I think that it was my birthday week, or maybe a week after my birthday. Because in 2022, I went on a little birthday road trip up to Washington State, and then I took Highway 101 back down, and it was a beautiful drive. I wasn't impressed with the ability to camp in Oregon on the coast, but other than that, the drive was freaking gorgeous. Washington State was, in September, it was really just phenomenal, you know? Yeah. So, I did this hike then, so that was, you know, it's been slightly less than 3 years, I guess. It'll be 3 years this September since I did that. And just last year is when I did the Pygmy Forest Trail and tried to get down to the juncture to go on to this trail because it was closed, you know? Because the bridges were out. It was closed. So I was trying to get onto the trail from a different way. And I got down close to where the trails would meet up. And I started to have a really, really awful feeling. It was also a kind of frantic departure and going back to the truck. Yeah. And they do say Sasquatch has the fear factor. So, maybe. I didn't see anything, but, you know, maybe there was something there, you know? God damn. Maybe. You guys heard the growling, right? There was growling. I heard growling. There was a lot of growling. It was fucking scary. I really thought something was going to come out of the bush because the bush was rattling too and there was growling. It was really freaking... There was something there, you know? That wasn't a person. That was not a noise that people make when they are imitating growling. That was not a person. I don't know if it was a bear. Bears don't normally shake the bushes like that. God, I forgot I need to look up there because maybe it was a mountain lion. You never know. It might have been Sasquatch. It might have been a mountain lion. I don't see how it would have been a mountain lion. Mountain lions would have just come out of the bush and said, "It is time to be my dinner." Yep. Especially when you're all by yourself like that. Because they are ambush predators. They don't give warnings like that. God damn. My mom has gotten me all... She watches shows, you know, about Sasquatch and freaking aliens and stuff. She watches that stuff. But you'll notice I was not thinking immediately that it was a Sasquatch. I thought bear or mountain lion. That was where I went. Because realistically, those are the most likely things. But thinking back to the incident, that bush was shaking and freaking growling at me. Neither a mountain lion nor a fucking bear would do that, you know? And bears do that sort of coughing sort of thing. I'm sure they have lots of other noises that they make, though. Maybe it was a baby bear. I've got doubts about that, strong doubts about that. I don't think it was no baby bear. I'm gonna ask the ranger at the kiosk if other people have had issues at that juncture. I am. It's gonna bug the heck out of me if I don't ask. Okay, and now that the creek is on my right, I've got to watch out on my left for the mountain lion. Oh, what? Look at that. I walked right by that earlier and I didn't freaking see it. Huh. 1 mile lurker. Okay, cool. I walked right by that and didn't earlier. I did not even see that earlier. How much battery have I got? 30%. I've got to plug in soon. Okay. Maybe what I can do is, because I really definitely prefer being able to see behind me too. Definitely. Even though I don't really feel like I'm actually in danger from the mountain lion at this point. I say the like it was actually there, like a freaking dork. Okay, bag is this way, and now I've got this. I mean, I know I'm at 30%. So in theory, I could record for 29% more, but I'd rather just be plugged in to... Okay, hold on. back to point of interest marker number 10. And I think there's marker number 9. The birds chirping. There was no animal noises back where I was until that fucking growling. That freaking growling. God, that was so freaking... And it didn't start until I started thinking it was a bear. And I yelled, "Oh, bear!" And then, oh god damn, I'm gonna have to rewatch this so that I freaking know what the hell happened, and maybe my camera saw something that I didn't see. Maybe. Gosh. Okay. I'm gonna turn off my recording. Save some space. Have a good day, everybody. Hopefully, I make it back to my truck. Bye-bye.